life, and ain't no doubt about it. I done broke down both bowls of pounds of powder. I done sold food, soap in those zones of flour. I done drove through slow and I exposed the cowards. I was never throwing bows and leaving nose infection. When they started fighting back, when they started stabbing. When they started stabbing back, started toting straps. When they started toting straps, started toting casket. Now everybody know I be the first to blast. The hit shots to traffic, so close to tragic. I'ma go for the throat and I'ma choke the bastard. If I go for the wretched, have to close the cast. I'm really about that life. Got 1,000 stripes, I break 1,000 stages, I murked 1,000 mites. I've been locked up tight for 2,000 nights. I wouldn't even think twice of turning out your lights. Yeah, I'm about that life. 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 Yeah, I'm about that life, boy, you better believe. In the heat of the moment, I get out of fool. Yeah, I'm about that life, boy, you better believe. I defeated all the tribulations I've been through. Yeah, I'm about that life, boy, you better believe. When I seen you couldn't hit me in the fathom, dude. Yeah, I'm about that life, boy, you better believe. See that I'm cocky, got an attitude. I'm about that life, check my resume. I'm in the dirty projects with a killer's play.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Libra Lounge with Keisha. I've got my special guest here, Bryan Keith.
Woo, doggy!
If you weren't up, your ass is up now. So sorry we missed y'all last week. We actually went on a little mini vacation. I've never been to Dallas.
No?
Ever. And my husband, he had was it a work seminar conference that they had at the Gaylord Hotel and Resort? And I went, and it was quite lovely.
Okay. I wrestled in Dallas a couple of times.
Really?
Actually, yeah.
It's my allergies were completely a different kind of bad allergy up there, but it was better than when my allergies are going on down here.
It's Texas.
I know. It's just like, what is going on?
Yeah.
So I wanted to say really quickly that we're so excited that we have hit 4,000 likes on our Facebook page. That is a huge accomplishment for us because we just started in March. I didn't really even think you guys were going to like us. I thought you were going to be like, oh, this is dumb. And, not like, but the page is growing. So in honor of us hitting 4,000 likes, and since this is my birthday month, Libra season is here, we're going to be giving away gifts all month long. I'm just kidding. It's just going to be autographed photos of me that I'm going to send to you. No, for real. We're going to, I think next week we're going to be giving away a Libra Lounge with Keisha t-shirt. I believe the Million Harris, one of our show sponsors, is going to be giving away a $25 gift certificate. And I think we're going to be giving away some jewelry. Is that correct, James? Okay. He trying to be cute. He not saying nothing. He gave me the thumbs up.
Confirmed.
Well, we got into it earlier because we were doing a little bit of pre-production, and he kept just looking at me. I'm like, I see you looking with your looking ass. But stop. Look, why are you always? I get it. This right here, you just can't help but to look. I get it. I understand. You're mesmerized, but you see me every day. So he's not talking to me right now. Are you married?
I am.
Okay,
married.
so how long have you been married?
I've been married for about 3 years.
Okay, so basically, all you single bitches, y'all see him, don't send me any DMs asking how can I get in contact with him?
No,
what's his phone number?
Not at all.
He's married. So let it go. Y'all not going to have his wife after my ass.
My wife will kill me as well as others.
And I don't want to have to testify in court behind nothing like that. So, okay. So what else? Oh, that was local artist Loyal Dott, who you saw on the intro while Bryan Keith was that guy, that one tall guy looked like he was like half human, half Shrek. He was huge.
Van Harrison's a big boy.
Oh my God. He looked like he was about 7'1".
He's our television champion. I was trying to collect the bounty and it didn't turn out the right way, but
I could probably take him, but I'm just saying, but that was a tall glass of water right there.
He's a huge dude.
Before we go into the gab, one of our audience members is doing something super fantastic. Producer James is actually going to tell us what he's doing because y'all know me. Whenever I try to read a script, I all of a sudden I'm illiterate. I can't read. I can't write. I'm like Helen Keller. I don't know what I'm doing. But Producer James, take it away.
Thank you. So one of our fans, you may remember David Lindblom from the Barony of Stormwall. That's a live-action role-playing group. One of their members, Malcolm Harris, has a book coming out. In his own words, just because he's a brother don't mean he can't write a Game of Thrones. Ooh. So
check. Okay.
So Malcolm has a GoFundMe. It is what's the name of the book again? It was Adventure.
See, and I thought it was going to be me. Now he's messing it up.
Tell you what, we're going to put a link to it in the comments.
Yes.
Go support Malcolm. The GoFundMe is to make sure the book is published, presented, travel for signing, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, we'll put a link in the comments and give them your support.
I think that's awesome. I love it when you see a person that's working their everyday 9 to 5, and you know, I'm sure he's been dreaming of writing a book for many, many years. And one day he's like, damn it, I'm just going to do it.
Take your passion.
I mean, I love it. I heard the word on the street is that one of the characters, the beautiful characters, is, based off of me. So,
okay.
Sometimes I just lie to myself and then my audience just to make myself feel a little bit better. Any other show announcements that we have that I missed out on, Producer James? All righty. Well, if you are a friend of the Libra Lounge, you know what time it is. It is time for the gab.
We know she has a really big mouth, which sounds kind of dirty, and that's probably true too. Let's gossip. The gab with Keisha.
All right. So we have all been following the story of Bill Cosby and all of these hoes from way back when who accusing him of sexual assault. I personally think that Bill did it. I know a lot of people don't. I know a lot of black people refuse to believe the same man that was selling us pudding pops was raping women. So we're not here to judge, but he has been found guilty and he was sentenced last week. He's supposed to be serving 3 to 10 years in prison. What do you think about that?
Man,
it's a long time.
It is a long time.
For an old man.
That's a long time with no freedom.
It's
man. No comment.
I'll say this. I, for one, was actually surprised that his attorneys did not try to weasel him out of having to actually step foot inside of the prison. But he did. I think this is a message to a lot of people out there. You know, being rich and famous is one thing, and but every dog has their day. You know, he has been found guilty in the court of law, and I don't know. It's weird. It's really, really hard to separate this person that we're reading about in the news now with Cliff Huxtable. And I think that's what, everyone has that so blended. It's hard to kind of step away from it. You know what I mean? But yeah, I don't think that Bill will make it 10 years in prison. He's like 110 already.
He's pretty old.
He is pretty damn old. I don't, good luck, Bill. I'm sure he's going to get tons of special treatment. How can he not? You know what I mean? If I were in prison with Bill Cosby, I would be like, so what made you sit down and write Fat Albert and them? Like, what was your inspiration around? Like, why were their lips so big? Did you know somebody with lips that big? But why were the lips like kind of pink? Like, what was the motivation behind that? That's the kind of shit I would do. You know what I mean? What, James? I can see you.
No comment.
I would be like I would be that really annoying person, Mr. Cosby. Mr. Cosby, why didn't Mr. Cosby? You had all those pretty women, and because everyone's focusing on the fact that the woman who accused him of drugging her and sexually assaulting her is not stereotypically attractive. So people are like, so he had all these fine black women on the Cosby Show. He didn't mess with none of them, but he messed with that, which is horrible for anyone to say or think.
Right, you can't even.
Victims come in. On women. Yes, exactly. Yeah. So, good luck, Bill. Camille, Bill's wife, man, I would be on a damn shopping spree. I would have me a new boyfriend by next week. What is Bill gonna do? Not a damn thing. So I wouldn't even take his calls. I'm like, I don't know him. Okay, so Justin Bieber, the Biebs, he got married last month.
That's what's up.
which is great and wonderful. I think he's a little bit too young to be married, but he got
How old is
married.
Justin Bieber?
But Justin Bieber's what, 23? That's pretty young.
People get married at like 16.
I know, but like 23, those are your hoe years. You know what I mean? You're rich. You should be hoeing around.
Justin Bieber he probably had his whole years started a little bit
I'm
early.
sure, but he probably should have extended them a little bit. You know what I mean? But the thing, he got married without a prenup. And he's worth $250 million. I'm like, Haley Baldwin, who is his bride, you know, she's related to, who's her dad? Her dad is it Alec Baldwin? No, her dad is the one that was the blonde one. The one that was on the Young Riders. Stephen Baldwin. That's her dad. I know Stephen Baldwin somewhere happy as hell. I'm sure he's going to be pushing Haley, just divorce his ass. Just go on there to get a divorce. Have a baby first and then get a divorce. But that just goes to show you that he's young. And in the real world, 23 is not that young. But for someone who's been sheltered so much, Justin Bieber's been a celebrity since he was like 12.
He's ready to settle down. He's calling it
Man, I'm willing to bet right now.
Straight and narrow. Justin Bieber. I'm calling it right now. Justin Bieber is a model father.
He's not a father yet.
I'm calling it.
I think that before the end of the year, she's gonna be pregnant.
And then he's gonna be a model father, Justin Bieber.
Let's hope so. But I would be a model ex-wife if he married me without a prenup, and he's worth $250 million. And I think Haley Baldwin is worth maybe $1 million. I don't know, but she was smart. He was very, very dumb. But congratulations. Love is a powerful thing.
It is.
It really, really is. Every month I just go over James's insurance information, make sure I'm still the beneficiary and all of that good stuff like that. So make sure.
Check your tires, James. Check your tires.
I already told him the way I'm going to do it when I do it. It's going to be a sneak attack.
No.
So, do you or your wife watch any of the Real Housewives franchise?
My wife watches all of those things.
What's your wife's name?
My wife's name is Liliana.
Liliana, you my girl. We need to talk.
All of them.
I watch them all too. We need to become Facebook friends.
She makes me watch all of them too.
You should. It's good. It's good, wholesome entertainment.
Whenever I come home from training, I'm like super tired and I'm hungry.
Uh-huh.
It does keep me awake, so I will.
Because they're wild out there.
It gets intense. It gets pretty
really,
intense.
really does. Well, everyone knows I'm a huge fan of the Potomac part of the Real Housewives. And last week, Ashley Darby, Ashley was a shit talker all this past season. She was all in Karen Huger's business, talking about her money, talking about her marriage, talking about her house. Well, karma is a bitch. So Ashley's husband, Michael is like, okay, Ashley is 30. Michael is pushing 60. Okay. So, I think she did a Haley Baldwin, Justin Bieber kind of situation on his ass.
Pulled a maneuver.
Yeah. Well, he was arrested last week and charged with sexual assault because he grabbed the butt of one of the cameramen for the Real Housewives of Potomac. But here's what makes it so funny. First, people are like, well, why didn't God just punch him? I'm like, a person has a right not to be touched. When I'm somewhere when you're at work, you don't think that someone is going to come and grab your ass.
Exactly.
That's a little bit shocking right there. Yeah. Especially when it's someone of the same sex. It's just like, what? Like, what the, did you just fucking grab my ass? Is kind of the reaction I would have. People were like, well, he should have hit him and he could have. But why hit that person and risk losing your job because this guy can't keep his hands off your ass? But this goes back all the way to season 1 when he grabbed someone else's ass, another man, on the show. It was caught on camera. And there's been rumors swirling since then that Michael likes men.
He's a double offender.
It's kind of sound like equal opportunist. You know what I'm saying? So I think
there's nothing wrong with that. You just can't go touching people if they don't want to be touched.
Butts. No.
Like this. Come on.
No, man. Well, and that guy was at work. You know what I mean? So I'm pretty sure that the producers of the show probably encouraged the cameraman to press charges against them. Hey,
that's like whenever you're in need of money and then you get hit by someone in a car crash and then you just roll out and you're like, oh, my neck's hurting.
My neck hurt, my back broke, my right ankle is broken. I can't see out of one eye. Yeah, it's a payday. So this, and this very well could be one of those situations. But it's just like, Wow, it's that elitist attitude that I'm rich, I can do whatever I want, including grab someone's ass.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Man, had that been like my dad would have whooped his ass.
My dad is the same way. My dad is.
There would be no conversation.
He don't play no grab ass.
Yeah, it's just like, that's not cool. Okay, so speaking of things that are not cool, Kanye West, I just, I have been saying all year that it is evident that this boy is going to have a mental breakdown. I wish he would just go ahead and have it. Go ahead and have it, and let's start healing.
Of having it already.
But it's been going on for like a year and a half.
It's a process.
Well, here's part of the process. He has changed his name to Ye. And
what?
To Ye. Y-E. Y-E.
Y-E.
And this you don't give a fuck what you change your name to, Kanye. It's just one thing after another. He had a performance on Saturday Night Live. He, the slavery comments that he's made.
That was ridiculous.
It's just like, Kanye, please. I always say that, taking a bubble bath cures all. I'm like, Kanye, go take a bubble bath, maybe drown a little bit, come back when you got your mind right, and give us some good music at least.
Jesus walks, man. He needs to walk with Jesus again.
Something,
That's
and
the problem.
I feel that Kanye falls into that category of what's the saying, the mad genius, because I do think he probably thinks on a different level because he's very artistic and he's very smart, very successful. Yeah. And I always go back to the day his mom died. I said, oh shit, there's not going to be anyone in this world that can even control him slightly. Yeah. Because it went out when she died.
I can never even imagine.
Yeah. And he's then he's hooked up with the Kardashians.
Yeah. And that's a bunch of drama itself.
All the time. So, there's talk that him and Kim are wanting to have a fourth baby. And I'm just like, can we please just get this boy some mental health? I mean, can he move to Switzerland for a little while, get some nice, crisp, clean air?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Just get right.
Yeah.
I mean, he just says just some of the stupidest things. And I feel like Kanye still has a broken heart from his mom dying, and he just has not figured out how to fully and completely heal.
I mean, that's understandable. But,
yes.
You got to be responsible for the things you say and the things you do.
Yeah.
So just don't do crazy things.
And it's not like he can't afford to go get the help that he needs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when you think about it, like, you got that much money, it's like you're spending money for help, but,
all the
people are in their business for a reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm sure he's got a lot of
coming back.
Yes. And I'm like, how about we cut Kim's plastic surgery expenses in half, go ahead and get Kanye's head right, then everybody be happy again. Before you know it, he gonna be like, hi, I'm Kanye West. I've decided to have a sex change. I'm gonna follow in the steps of
oh man.
of what's the dad's name? Jenner. Because if you look at history, all the men that have hooked up with a Kardashian woman, they've lost their minds.
It's called the Kardashian curse.
It really is, and that's cursed with a K, not a C. Yeah. All right. So Halloween is approaching, and I love everything Halloween. It is my favorite time of the year. I love scary movies.
Okay.
My husband is a bitch ass when it comes to scary movies.
I am the same way.
Oh my God!
What's your favorite scary movie?
Well, I think Jeepers Creepers is one of my favorite movies.
I can agree with that.
I love Jeepers
really
Creepers. It was. That is not scary.
Yeah.
That's not scary.
Well, it wasn't the scariest. Like, I'd say, like, the scariest movie for me that I stopped watching scary movies was Exorcist and Emily Rose. After that movie, I was over with movies.
I remember watching The Exorcist when I was like 11 years old.
Yeah, I remember that movie, The Exorcist. The Exorcist isn't too bad, but The Exorcist of Emily Rose
is bad.
That one. And then apparently they have another one. They have another one called The Nun that just came out.
It just came out. We have not seen it yet. I wonder why.
Well, you shouldn't, because people were like having like health problems and stuff.
Oh my God!
It.
Come on.
Hey man, spirits are real. Things like that are real, man.
I don't know. Like
that's why it scares me. That's why movies like that scare me, because things like that exist. Like I'm not scared of like monsters or
that's kind of what he says. But see, he does like little for example, we saw this movie called Don't Be Afraid of the Dark, and it was based off of a movie that came on TV when he and I, how old are you?
I am 27.
Okay, so we're 39. So it came on when we were kids. So it's
Okay.
about these little troll-like monsters.
Okay.
And he was like, Keisha, when you were asleep last night, I was up because I was just thinking about those things. So every time I moved, you don't understand. I just think about it. It's on my mind. But Keisha, what if those little things did come? I can't get it out of my mind. But Keisha, they had swords and stuff. I mean,
They were equipped.
I don't understand. But Keisha, you don't understand. When you make me watch those movies, like, I think about it for like 2 weeks.
What was that one? What was that one scary movie? Was it Tales of the Hood? It was something like that on there where they had dolls, and they were so creepy, man. They came to life and they were like over here like killing people in their sleep and stuff. It was ridiculous, man. It was scary.
To me, it's comical. But I will say the scariest. Like, I love horror movies, scary themed movies. Some of them are just funny to me. But I will say the one movie that just really scared me was, and I consider it to be a true scary movie, was the very first Nightmare on Elm Street.
Okay.
That
I agree with that too.
traumatized me a little bit.
Yeah.
It really did.
Especially because when you go to sleep, you don't have control of your dreams anyways, really.
You be like, am I going to dream about Freddy?
Exactly. And then when it happens and it's happening, it's like, oh, is this for real right now?
And then when you wake up, you're like, what's really, I mean, even as a kid, I think I was like 7, say, what the fuck is going on
What's
up in here?
happening
You know,
right now?
what
Yeah.
is it? So, I love Halloween movies like Hocus Pocus.
Okay.
You know, Coraline.
Uh-huh.
Anything that's a Halloween theme, it just makes me feel all warm and fuzzy on the inside, and it kind of softens my cold black heart. You know, I just love it. So, do you have kids?
I do have kids. I have 2 kids.
Okay, how old are they?
2 and 1.
Oh, that's why you drove
They are
down here from where you
babies.
drove down.
I love them. I love them.
You drove along 2 and 1.
It just means I have patience. That's why I drove down here so far. I have patience.
Oh my God. Well,
Dealing with those babies.
I have a 16-year-old daughter.
Yeah. Well, you've been through that stage already.
But the 16 is just a totally different stage.
I bet. I can only imagine.
Speaking of horror,
They're going to be 16 and 15 at the same time. Like, oh, man,
you're going to get hit with the 1-2 punch right there.
They might. I don't know. No, I'm playing.
That is funny. Okay, so when we get back, we're going to talk to Bryan Keith about his career in professional wrestling. We'll be right back. Femme Fatale is a fully equipped boutique-style gym and fitness club that is taking a new and innovative approach to women's health and fitness. Our main goal is to provide a comfortable and completely judgment-free venue for women of all ages and fitness levels to come exercise and feel like a positive, fit family. We understand the busy lifestyle of today's women, so we also provide 30 minutes to 1 hour fitness classes, including the newest trends like boot camps, yoga, and body bar. We also offer a break room for school-aged children to hang out, as well as a tanning bed and sauna. We are located at 689 FM 517 West in Dickinson, Texas, and our phone number is 281-678-8037. Mention the Libra Lounge and get $10 off your initiation fee. We look forward to growing our fit family with you. Alrighty, so Bryan Keith and I were talking about kids. You know, we went from scary movies to kids because there's a lot of similarities between the two. He's got little kids and I got a teenager, and it's just like sometimes it's like living with a bipolar alcoholic. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They cry, they laugh, they
stumble.
scream, then they love you. They don't want you to touch them.
Yeah.
They stumble like a drunk
They
person.
stumble.
Yes,
Yep.
yes. So anywho, so Bryan Keith, why wrestling? What made you decide to become a wrestler?
Why wrestling? I believe God put it in my heart, honestly. Like No one in my family's ever been a wrestler. My grandparents were into wrestling, but I never got the pleasure to really meet them like that. My grandmother, I was around, but my grandfather, who was actually more into wrestling, I never really got to meet him. So I just feel like God put it in my heart. Whenever I was like 10 years old, there was like a career day, and I chose to be a professional wrestler. And just since then, I kept that thing in my mind. You know, I just stuck with it.
So, I mean, you've had this dream since you were a little kid. Yeah. How do you get started? You're like, I want to be a wrestler. I would just sit there and twiddling my thumbs like, I don't know what to do next. Like, what is the step after you decide that you want to commit to this?
Well, for me, my next step was like practicing everything I saw on TV. So I literally got in a backyard.
Did you get in trouble a lot at home for that?
So much, too much. I have too many vivid memories of my mom like pulling up on me, and like I'm in like a grass lot like wrestling in the neighborhood. My mom like, Bryan Keith, if you don't get your ass in this damn car, like just killing me, like going off like, man, trying to hide. And she's like, man, you gonna kill yourself, just always yelling at me. But my parents just told me, if they saw how serious I was, and that every time they caught me, I was always wrestling. And they told me, if you want to do this, once you turn 18, then, you can go to school for it or whatever. And, you do it legitimately. So that's what I did. When I turned 18 years old, I graduated high school. And first thing I did was sign up for a professional wrestling school.
So did you have siblings?
Yes, I have 4 sisters and 1 little brother.
So did you ever really you were beating the shit out of them, but then when you would get
caught, other way around.
Oh, all the girls.
My little brother just born. My little brother's like 13.
Okay,
about to turn 14. So he just barely came in the mix.
Got you.
But my sisters, there's 3 in front of me and 1 behind me. So literally, I was just fighting for my life the whole time.
That's really what
right?
I'm gonna do this professionally, man. I'm tired of them beating me.
I'm gonna hurt them, but I'm not gonna really hurt them.
But I'm gonna hurt them. They gonna think I'm hurting them. I'm gonna figure it out. But I'm gonna kick your ass in some way, shape, or form. So 4 sisters. That's just
4 sisters. Yep. And now I have 2 little girls, and my wife also has nothing but sisters as well. And I tell her, man, I'm surrounded by women. That's crazy.
A lot of estrogen.
And I tell her, whenever I was young, I prayed to be surrounded by women, but not like this.
Not like this. Exactly. So it's kind of like me, because at nighttime I go to bed. I was like, I always dreamed I would go to bed with 3 men. I didn't know one would be my husband, a dog, and a cat. But be careful what you ask for. So how would you describe yourself as a wrestler? Because each wrestler has, a certain storyline. They have a certain image. I know you got some people that are like they're an Indian or or superhero, or the kind. I always think the ones that wear like the boot thingies,
streamers.
Is that what they're
things
called?
Like that?
Yeah, I was like, it's.
They get pretty wild nowadays. You got some with fur, streamers.
Yeah. Like how do you decide?
It just depends on, I guess, what persona you choose. Me, I'm a bounty hunter, so I'm not wearing streamers or sparklies or things like that. I'm like, no nonsense. I get in there, take care of business, and life is about bounties.
Okay.
I got women and children to feed. So when I get in there, it's all business.
I saw you wrestle.
Yeah,
I saw you at what was it? A few months back, we went.
About 3 weeks.
It was. And I'll say this. It was me, my husband, my 16-year-old daughter, and my 13-year-old stepson, who is high-functioning autistic. All of us were entertained.
Yeah.
So that was a pretty good show, because the 4 of us don't ever just agree on, we can do that together. Everyone was the food was good, too.
Yeah.
That also helped.
That's why I like wrestling shows. A lot of people bag on wrestling shows or wrestling period, but I'd say, like, okay, when do you ever go to a movie and you go to see a superhero, Captain America, and Captain America can actually touch your hand and talk to you and acknowledge you. And by you cheering for Captain America, he's getting beat up and you're cheering for him. He's coming back and now he's winning and he wins in front of you. That never happens.
Right.
We are live action superheroes and we're giving it to you like that. That's why, like you said, you can be so easily entertained from all like facets of life, because there's something for everybody. There's drama, there's action, there's a suspense.
Right.
It's unpredictability.
Right.
Anything can happen in a wrestling show.
Well,
and there's
it was
good
enjoyable.
food, beer.
The food was.
Can't beat that.
I don't know who made those chopped barbecue
chopped
sandwiches.
beef.
God dang!
Bro,
I was like,
I didn't even have to. You didn't have to finish your sentence.
I was like, can I
shout
get
out to the people making them chopped beef sandwiches in Texas City.
I was like, can I get a to-go plate?
They got it, man. Even across the
it's
street,
good.
Beyond Burger, across the street in the same parking lot, Beyond Burger. Shout out to Beyond Burger.
Nice.
They have a Kobe beef burger, best burger I ever had.
Really?
Amazing.
I may have to check that out.
Amazing.
So, who were some of your inspirations to get into the business?
Inspirations to get into the business. For me to even like wrestling, period, it was The Rock. He got me entertained. Whenever I was a kid, I just wanted to mirror myself with The Rock. But then as I got older, I just started becoming a fan of more like technique and the art of storytelling and wrestling and things like that. So I dabbled in like Japanese professional wrestling, lucha libre, Mexican wrestling, European wrestling. So like honestly, when it comes to like my favorites or people that I'm influenced by, is really just the greats of any section of wrestling that they're at. Currently, right now, I'd say for like a close experience, it'd be Booker T, because he's right there. He's been there. He's a Hall of Famer.
And he paid you $20 to say that on air.
Yeah, he just gave me $50 for not playing. No. With all honesty, he would never have to pay me to give any praise for him. Booker T is like having an uncle that I never knew I had that knows how to wrestle, and he's just teaching me the way of life. And he's like the coolest dude you could ever meet. You would never like, sometimes you meet rich people, or not saying he's rich, but famous, well-known people. That's what I meant to say. Well-known people, and they're not like you see them on TV, or they're not who you expect them to be. Booker T surpasses every expectation that you would think. This guy is like, honestly, I met him when I was 11 years old, went to a show in Pasadena that was his show. Not 11 years old. I was 12, I think. 12 or 13.
Booker T like, man, why you tell everybody my age? 13. You really aging me. You're aging me. You're aging me.
He had a show in Pasadena. And a friend of mine that still wrestles to this day, Javier Vega, me and him, we both wrestle. We went to that show, 13 years old, drove a van from Greens Point to Pasadena.
Wait, y'all drove?
We drove.
13-year-old?
Yeah, we weren't supposed to.
Oh,
we were not supposed to. He knew how to drive. He was like 13 or 14. He knew how to drive. We drove down there, watched the show in Pasadena. We were so excited, left the light on in the van, came back out to the van. The battery was dead.
Okay.
We go back inside. Booker T signing autographs for a couple of fans left in the building. Show's over. I go and I ask him, could he help us out? He comes, gets someone to give us cables so that the van, could get going. It didn't work. We had to wait for our parents to come get us.
Oh, man.
So the whole time.
So you got a whooping there too?
No. Honestly, my mama never found out about that.
Really?
She never found out.
She knows. Is she watching?
She knows now.
She knows now.
She knows now.
And she's probably like, you still not too old to get a whooping.
Yeah, right. Yeah, but so he let us stay backstage, let us talk to all the wrestlers, and we told him right before we left, we were like, man, one day we're gonna come back and we're gonna wrestle for you. And the same building that I told him that in, I won my first championship for him in a steel cage match.
Wow,
crazy. So
that's crazy how your illegal activities led to this career.
You got to follow your heart. Follow your heart, kids. No, I'm playing.
So
be safe.
Yes, do not. Well, if you're gonna steal a vehicle,
we didn't steal it though. We didn't steal it. It's just that we were allowed to take it, and we did, and it happened.
Okay, so the moral of the story is turn the lights off in the vehicle so you can have a way home without having to. Well, I guess in that case it worked out. You got to really talk to Booker T.
We got to talk to him for like at least 30 minutes.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, we were shooting the breeze with him for a while, long time. He was talking to us for forever, and then we told him we'd come back and we're gonna wrestle for you one day.
Well, I used to be really big into wrestling, and people always find that just so funny. And I'm like, I love action. Yeah. And then you've got these great storylines that go along with it. They're funny. They're entertaining.
And that's the thing. You have to take it as what it is.
Exactly.
A lot of people are like, oh, this is fake. But you don't go watch, like I said, a Marvel movie.
Right.
And you're like, oh, well, this Captain America wouldn't do that. And you see about the movie. No, you don't. You accept that for what it is.
Yes.
And we're telling you this is entertainment. You know, it's our sport. We're just here to entertain you with it.
Yeah, there's a sport. It's a sport, but also a story that you're telling.
Exactly.
I mean, I'm like, that's the perfect combo right there.
It's beautiful.
So how long has reality of wrestling been around for the people that don't know?
Reality of wrestling. Actually, Booker T, so he's had a company. It was first PWA, and that was like, I think that's been going since 2005 or something like that. So then it turned into reality of wrestling within like the past like 5 or 6 years. And then we finally moved into our arena within the past 3 years, I want to say, in Texas City. So now we got our own arena in Texas City. But yeah, it used to be in PWA in like Pasadena Center convention. And then we also were in the Clear Lake Convention Center as well. And it's just a blessing for us to have our own arena. It's we got 3 rings in there, workout equipment, restrooms.
They do camps
All the time. We do autograph signings. We even host events like concerts there, like for people whenever the wrestling's not happening. People rent the facility all the time. So it's definitely a night and day difference from where it came. It's a blessing.
So, most people are used to the WWE.
Uh-huh.
So what's the difference, or is people are going to compare?
Yeah.
But what makes reality of wrestling stand apart?
Well, what I would like to think what makes reality wrestling stand apart. WWE is a great company. It's actually, I'd say, like the head of professional wrestling happening right now. But what makes reality of wrestling special is the fact that we're all like young, hungry talents, untapped talents, people that have never even been seen on that level before. So you got a bunch of new faces, just driven individuals ready to give their all, ready to just take all the knowledge that Booker gives us. Not even Book, because literally on any given day, anybody within the professional wrestling business can come to that school and teach us anything. Right. So like the wealth of knowledge is just so massive, and the fact that we're all young and just hungry and taking it all in, I feel like wrestling is going, I'm not going to say it's going down the wrong path, but there's a lot of people doing wrestling the way that it may not be intended, which is not like, telling stories and like letting things breathe and just being within the moment. Right. And I feel like what Booker T's doing is he's teaching us the way. He's showing us the old school way of wrestling, the things that brought people in and made them you big forget. Celebrities, lots of fame. And made you forget that it is what it was. Right. Because a lot of people, the reason why people nowadays don't get down with wrestling the way they used to is because they're like, oh, well, it's fake. And people just expose the business so much. But it's like
movies are not fake.
Exactly. And it's not even about being fake. It's the fact that we're giving our lives and we're putting our lives on the line for a body of art for you to enjoy. Right. When you take it like that, you have to appreciate it. That's why I enjoy the Japanese style of professional wrestling, the Mexican style of professional wrestling, because literally in Japan, it's a sport. They take it as like a true sport, and in Mexico, they take it as like a culture. It's like it's like your family. So the level of importance is so high that everyone just respects it so much. Right. Yeah. So that's why I enjoy that type of wrestling. But yeah.
All right. When we come back, we're going to continue our conversation with professional wrestler Bryan Keith. We'll be right back. Hey guys, it's Keisha, the host of the Libra Lounge with Keisha podcast and web series. If you follow me on social media, you know that the Million Harris is one of the sponsors of the show. I've told you all about the great hair products for both men and women that they have, but I wanted to give you an opportunity to actually see some of their hair bundles. Here they are. What I did was I ordered both 20 and 22-inch Malaysian bundles and a frontal from the Million Harris and took them to my stylist and had her make this unit. Yes, this is actually a lace front unit made from the bundles I purchased at the Million Harris. I usually don't wear this much hair extensions, nor do I wear it this long, but I really, really love it. The hair feels amazing. It looks great. I've been getting compliments everywhere that I go. So make sure to go to her website or stop by the shop and get your order on. She's got hair products, bundles, and mink lashes. Make sure to use my discount code Libra20 for 20% off your total purchase. All right, we're back. Get yourself together. I just body slammed him during a commercial break. I just wanted to, to show him my skills, and I did, but I'm going to stick to doing this, and he's going to, stick to doing that. So, okay, so now you're a wrestler. Now, do you have your regular 9-to-5 job?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I do.
How do you balance it? Because here's the thing in society, everyone wants to own a business or live out their dream, but it's like you still got to make that paycheck, to take care of your family, support yourself. So how do you balance the two?
Honestly, I've always chosen the job based off of the availability of me being able to wrestle, because I just always believed that if it's in my heart and it's what I love to do. My dad always told me, if you get a job that you love to do, you never have to work a day in your life. So I just always told myself, well, wrestling has to be my career. So I used to work at Hot Topic. I was a manager. That didn't work out because they wanted me to work on weekends, and I was wrestling mostly weekends.
We've given a lot of money to Hot Topic.
Yeah, Hot Topic is a beautiful company. I love that company, man. Hot Topic I loved working there. I was a manager, and it was like one of the best companies I ever worked for, honestly. But I'd go back in a heartbeat, but they need me there every weekend. So and then I worked at the construction department, but I was just so miserable working there because the people there were just so miserable and just like so unmotivated. And I was like, man, like I've never met people that just, like you said, people. They try to balance the 9 to 5 and then they have aspirations, and it was just people who didn't have aspirations. They were just working that job, and that's all they knew was that job. And I'm like, man, you can have one life to live, and all you're gonna know is that job. Right. Those people don't care about you. No. You can die today or tomorrow, and they'll replace you.
They don't even sometimes don't know your last name.
Exactly. Yeah. So you got to figure out what's on your heart, and you got to go for it. So like, I quit that because I just couldn't deal with it. It was just way too much stress, and honestly, ever since I quit that, I've never felt so free. I started wrestling a lot more and just Ubering. So in the midst of that, I just been able to, sustain life and just be a little bit more happier. So
it's people, especially we have a society filled with entitlement. Everyone thinks, I want to be an actor. On my first audition, I'm going to get that role and I'm going to win an Academy Award. It's like, that is not how it works.
I've been wrestling for 8 years. Yeah. And I still haven't, I'm not saying I haven't got a big break, I'm not rich or anything like that by any measure, but it takes a while. It takes a lot of hard work. It takes a lot of dedication. I mean, I could say that. I mean, it's taken me 8 years, but there's been some people who's taken like 2 or something like that. Because sometimes lightning just strikes the bottom. Yeah. It happens for you. But, I appreciate the journey. Right. I love it all. I wouldn't take it all. I mean, I wouldn't take it back for anything.
So, how would you compare some of the top wrestlers right now to, well, I call them the greats of wrestling. You have your Hulk Hogan, your Ric Andre the Giant. Yeah. Those are the people that, because my dad was big into wrestling.
Roddy Piper.
Yes. Yeah. So how do you compare today's wrestlers to those guys?
There's a wrestler by the name of Minoru Suzuki right now. He's a Japanese professional wrestler, and he's a shoot style wrestler, meaning he's like an actual fighter as well as a professional wrestler. So I saw an interview of his, and he was talking about how the difference was between wrestlers now and wrestlers back then. Wrestlers back then, they accepted wrestling as their actual jobs. Yes. They got into wrestling as the profession, as knowing that it was true fighting, and they treated it as such. They didn't just do it knowing like, okay, well, I'm gonna just do this for the weekend. Or, okay, I'm going to do this, but on the side, I'm going to wrestle and things like that. It was really guys that their only avenue was either they were in sports or, big, huge jocks, or they were in some type of fighting background. So they came together and started wrestling. So I feel like that's why when you see old school wrestling, it looks a lot more real, a lot more wholesome, rough, just because those guys were rough guys. Nowadays, you'll have professional wrestlers that's never even been in fights before. And I'm like, well, how are you going to be able to take a punch if you never even got punched before in your life? Like you could take a hit out there and get knocked out and not know how to react whenever you get knocked out. And then you just lose yourself in front. Everything's live. Right. So you can't just, lose yourself out there. You got to know, you got to be trained, you got to be, I don't know. Yeah,
I think a lot of the guys that we were talking about, to them it's like, it's this or nothing. Exactly. You know what I mean? You couldn't be an Andre the Giant and have a 9-to-5 job. I mean, where are you? Well, you can't fit in the door. You can't fit in the chair. And, HBO did a very good documentary about Andre the Giant. And it was, you see these guys and you look at them with, stars in your eyes because they're so great and wonderful. And then just to hear some of the things that they really went through just with their bodies. Yeah. You know what I mean? And then Andre the Giant with his drinking and just, relationships. It's a lot.
Yeah. There's a lot of tragedy stories in wrestling. Right. Actually.
I think because my husband had to put some questions in here too. All the corny questions questions are his.
She just means all the informative.
Oh yes, all the
questions.
comical and very good, high educational sounding questions came from me. But this actually was a good one. He said that wrestling got hit hard during the steroid years. Do you think that is still a problem, or are things more under control?
Well, I'd say as far as like WWE goes, they have that all under control. They're all under like wellness policies and things like that. As far as the indies goes, which like considered where I'm at, there's a lot of people that, you know, take performance enhancing drugs and things like that. But I feel like you get out what you put into wrestling. You know, if you're going to cut corners or cheat like that, then it's going to come back and it's going to haunt you. You know, you can only live like that for so long.
Your body can only go through so much.
Exactly. And then whenever you jump like that and you cut that corner, your body's not used to what it took to get there.
Right.
You know, so that's why whenever you see guys that take steroids, whenever they stop working out, they look so flabby and just weird,
they look really
looking.
weird, like
Because
kind of
they're
like melting wax.
Exactly.
It's weird looking. Yeah.
But versus the guy that may have started off small, but you know, he lifted weights his whole life, and eventually his foundation is just like so huge. You know, he's building muscle on top of muscle.
Yeah.
So, you know,
kind
it's
of like me, you know, just muscle on top of muscle,
just
you know,
it, you know,
just trying to, you know, just walk in. Everybody's
rock
like, you know, what's the saying? The devil says, "What the fuck?" when she wakes up,
walking through the door sideways.
Exactly, like excuse me, coming through. So everyone knows this, and only true wrestling fans even know who this guy is, but. One of my forever crushes is Maven Huffman. I don't know if you remember him. He started out on this is when MTV had Tough Enough.
Yeah, you talk about Maven, the light skinned guy.
He's actually half white, half black.
I see who's light skinned. I mean,
he's mulatto if we're gonna use the technical term.
Okay.
He can still get it if he wants.
Eyebrows.
You know what I mean? Yes!
Eyebrows.
He's so handsome.
Old eyebrows. I see you.
You know, people are like, who? But people that have followed wrestling are like, oh yeah, I watched Tough
Maven
Enough.
had a really good drop kick.
He did.
He had a beautiful drop kick.
Yes, he did. And a
He
beautiful face.
wasn't talented. He was very talented as well, too.
Yeah.
But he had a beautiful drop kick.
And then he kind of fell into, he was, what do they call it when you're pill shopping doctors, because he had a little bit of a pill addiction.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's crazy. Wow.
Yes. And that's kind of, when he started to fall off, he got addicted to that. Then he was, you know, he was a bouncer. And I think now he's actually working security for one of the top NBA teams. So he's kind of got his footing back. But I mean, if you know somebody that knows Maven, I'm going to give you my card. Tell him to call me. Okay. All
I'll let you know.
Because I don't think he's married yet. And I can always get a divorce. You know what I'm saying? For Maven, I would do it for you, Maven. Okay, so Bryan Keith. So any young man or female who's interested in getting into this business, what would you tell them?
I tell them, decide early and commit. Work as hard as you can every single day. Give it your all, and just know that every time may not be your time, but perform like it is your time. Yeah. No matter what.
Yeah. And that could be that's great advice no matter what you do.
Yeah.
You know, everything happens in its own time. Yeah. It really, really does. Okay. So after this commercial break, we're going to have Bitch Please. And then Bryan Keith is going to tell us, you know, give us all of his contact information, how we can find him on social media, when's his next match, all of this, all of that. We're going to be all up in this business. So we'll be right back.
Hey folks, have you thought about having your own podcast but are worried it's too expensive or too hard to produce? Well, you're in luck. Pink Phoenix Media, the company that's brought you such shows as the Libra Lounge with Keisha, Going Deep with Leon and Keisha, and our brand new show, the Manticore Media Podcast, is here to offer you the chance to have your own podcast professionally recorded, produced, and broadcasted. We offer very affordable rates, flexible schedule, and everything you need to make your media dreams come true. Check us out and email us at sales@pinkphoenixmedia.net.
Alrighty, this was an excellent show.
Thank
I
you.
really enjoyed having you. I really,
appreciate
really did. So, Bryan Keith, what's going on with you next? Tell us how we can find you. When's your next match? What do they have to do to buy tickets? You know, give us the good.
Gotcha. All right. Well, next match for Reality Wrestling is October 13th. It's
Okay.
for Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
Oh,
So,
nice. Okay.
Yeah, we're fighting for a good cause.
Mhm.
You can get tickets at realitywrestling.com.
Okay.
You can also find me, Bryan Keith, Bryan with a Y, on Facebook, and Bounty Keith on Instagram and Twitter.
You look completely different than you do in the ring. I will
Yeah, you
say
think
that.
so? It's because when I'm in the ring, like honestly, like okay, before I go out, I say a prayer
Mhm.
and I just immerse myself within the whole thing.
Mhm.
You know, a lot of people, whenever they're out there, I think they like, you know, people like to remember things to do in the ring.
Mhm.
Honestly, I like to feel things out there. I like
Right.
to take it for what it is.
Yeah.
Because wrestling's so unpredictable.
Yeah.
And it's just like, it's a beautiful thing when you're in the moment and just accepting everything that's happening all at once.
Yeah, and it's a lot going on because I mean y'all have little kids running up to the stage and I'm
Uh-huh.
like, ooh.
One time, whenever I was wrestling up north in Texas, it wasn't for Reality or Wrestling, it was for a different company when I was
Mhm.
first starting out. So we're starting to match off hot to where whenever I come out, the entrance, the guy was coming and diving out on me.
Mhm.
So I'm coming out the entrance ramp. I'm talking crap to the fans.
Right.
Little kid comes out. Guy doesn't see that the little kid's here. He comes running out for the dive. And I go, bam, take the dive. And we both collide. And we just did a bridge over this child.
my
This child just like crawls underneath.
God.
So on the other side, it looks like we just collided and created a little child. And he's like walked out.
And I'm sure the little kid's like, that was cool. Can we do it again?
You see, that's the type of stuff that you can't.
You can't write that. Like it just
you
happens.
can't go to an amusement park for that.
Yeah.
You can't go watch a movie for that.
Yeah.
You can't even jump on a pogo stick and get that.
No,
type
and
of-
them little kids go hard for y'all.
Yeah,
I'm
heck
like,
yeah.
ooh,
It's
little kid,
amazing.
move back. Mama, go get your kid before somebody
Heck yeah.
throws somebody out the
No,
ring
no,
and
but
your
we
little
want
kid
them.
gets
We
hit.
want them to be there. We
Oh,
want
like
the
they
kid-
get
We want
crumbs.
the kids to be. I want them so close the sweat could
Smell,
fly
they
off
can
on
smell
them.
the sweat.
Just a chop and just
Yeah.
the sweat is on you.
So when they go back to school, yeah, I got to see
I got
Bryan Keith. I got a little bit of sweat on me.
No,
Still
no.
smell like it, and it was really, really cool. I know how he smells. So okay, great. So most definitely check out Bryan Keith with the Reality of Wrestling. Is there a calendar up there that kind of says who's going to be fighting?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
There's already main event match: Ryan Davison, Rex Andrews, Gino, and Abel Andrew Jackson.
Okay. All right. So
Top guys, we got Fatal 4-Way match.
you have been a fantastic guest. Remember, the Reality of Wrestling is in my neck of the woods. It's in Texas City. If you're from this area, it is right where it's Mall on the Mainland, and it's right next to, what is it, World's Gym?
World's
Is it?
Gym.
World's Gym.
And
Yeah.
Beyond Burger. Check out that Beyond Burger.
Do they sponsor you?
They need to.
They need to.
After this, I
After
pray
tonight.
I pray y'all do. I need some money, man.
Y'all must definitely, because he has been singing y'all's praises the whole show.
They got
I mean,
good burgers,
I
man.
feel like I want a Beyond Burger. I'm like, oh, yeah, they still
Check,
open
you
yet?
close enough.
Yes,
you should've
very
been
close.
Tried it.
All right. Well, it is time for our bitch please of the week.
Bitch, please. You be rolling down the street telling stories. Bitch, you never tell the truth. Bitch, please. Everybody know you lying, bitch, cause all you do is lie.
All right. So, bitch please of the week. I love making fun of celebrities because they're rich and famous and I'm completely jealous of them. So it's only right that I can make fun of them. I get it. You become a celebrity, you have a certain image, and that's why a lot of celebrities choose to not show their children's faces.
That's true.
But one celebrity, I mean, she's a celebrity in her own right, is Kim Zolciak Bierman, who's from the Real Housewives of Atlanta, and Don't Be Tardy. She caught a lot of hell last week because, well, for one thing, if you know Kim still denies it to this day that she has not. She says she's only been under the knife for her boobs. That's a bitch. That's a lie. That's a bitch please right there. That's a lie. Her nose has been done. Her lips have been done. She looks like Barbie's mom.
Man.
Basically, that's how her body looks. So she got a lot of heat last week because her older daughter, Brielle, posted a picture of Kim's younger daughter, who is, I believe, 5 years old, Kaya, posted a picture of her on her Instagram page. And allegedly, Kim, I guess she didn't think the picture was cute enough. So she went back and she photoshopped it. She made her daughter's skin a little bit darker, which that's okay. You know, she was looking pale. Okay, well, then she made the little girl's nose smaller, which that's a bit much. I know. I'm not. Oh, it gets worse. It gets so much worse. So she, made the little girl's nose shorter, and I'm like, I'm trying to justify all of her acts. I'm like, well, maybe, the interwebs can be a cruel place. Maybe she doesn't want them, making fun of her daughter's nose. I don't know. But. Then she actually went in and photoshopped the little girl's butt to make it bigger. Yes.
6 years old?
6 years old.
Come on, man.
You
know what? When you started this segment,
bitch, please.
I was like, man, I don't want to say that. That's not what I.
Go ahead and say it. Go ahead and say it.
Bitch, please.
Yes. She most definitely deserves a bitch, please.
What?
To me, I'm just like,
Why? It's a child.
It's a child. Like, why? No one should be looking at your kid's butt anyways. But then you're drawing more attention to her butt, and you're sexualizing your child. I don't get it, but that is the world that we live in, that children can't even be children anymore. Remember?
People, let your kids be kids.
Yeah. Yes. Stop, don't Photoshop their butts. I'm just
don't
like,
let them wear makeup. Only in playtime, maybe. Don't let them be sassy.
Oh, wait a minute. You don't let them be sassy. Because they'll not go up to be like me.
Don't let them be fast.
Don't let them be fast.
Kids.
Yes.
And kids, please be kids.
And sometimes
you only
kids,
got 18, 17 years to be a kid. 16 years to be a kid.
And if you're a 6-year-old and your mom tries to Photoshop your butt, you turn around and say, bitch, please. All right. We will be back next week. Bryan Keith, we truly enjoyed having you. Best of luck. I'm sure we will see you again at the Reality of Risk. Don't act like you don't know me, though.
I got you.
Can you upgrade my seats?
Can
I come backstage?
You just might.
I know Bryan Keith, y'all. Bryan Keith.
Hey.
He invited me to come.
I let you know whenever I come out, I at least give one hat to a fan, So if you crunk enough, you just might get that hat.
You gonna be like, what is that? Who is that jumping up and down?
I'll toss in your direction.
Black woman back there? Oh, that's Keisha. There you go, girl.
I got you.
All right. Well, we appreciate you coming down here tonight. We will see you guys on next week. Make sure to, if you didn't catch the live viewing of the show, you can catch us on YouTube, Google Play, iTunes, or you can catch us on our website. You can watch this video at www.thelibralounge.net. Y'all know I'm going to be blogging all week, talking about celebrities and talking shit about my life. So we will see you soon. Bye.
Yeah, I'm about that life. I'm really about that life, and ain't no doubt about it. I done broke down both bowls of pounds of powder. I done sold food, soap in those zones of flour. I done drove through slow and I exposed the cowards. I was never throwing bows and leaving noses fresh. When they started fighting back, when they started stabbing. When they started stabbing back, I started toting straps. When they started toting straps, I started toting caskets. Now everybody know I be the first to blast. The headshots, trash, so close to trash.